So I'm always asked the same exact question. Like anybody who knows me and they meet me and they're always like, Keisha, how do you just walk around with so much confidence? Because if you know me, I walk around with my head like I'm that bitch. If you know me, my favorite saying is, this is my world and you just live in it. And I'm talking about this topic because I meet so many young girls, right? I meet girls in their 20s, I meet girls in their teens, and they're just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I don't feel my best. Or they're always trying to fix something about themselves to make themselves look good. And I can relate because I know I've been there. When I got in my 30s, and I'm a little bit tipsy, so this is why I'm able to sit here and conversate with you guys, because I'm never able to get on camera and just talk. I always like chuckle up on my words. I get nervous, so I'm a little bit tipsy and I don't usually drink. So I'm able to talk to you guys. When I got in my 30s, okay, I don't know what it is about 30s, and I hear the same thing about 40s. When I got in my 30s, there's nothing nobody can tell me. Nothing. I have never felt more sexy, more beautiful, more smart. I mean, everything about me just exudes sex appeal. Everything. I walk with my head so high. I mean, it can be a room filled with beautiful women, right? And I walk in, I don't gotta say much, right? And the reason why I say that is because just because you're beautiful does not mean you're confident. I know so many beautiful women who are so insecure. And I mean, you can just look at them. I don't know about you, but I know me. I can sit next to a woman and I can tell that she is insecure. I can just look at her. Her body language, her posture, the way she moves her hands, the way her eye contact, her aura, her mannerism, everything just screams I'm insecure. I walk in a room and if you know me, you know what I'm talking about, because a lot of people look at me and they crack the fuck up because they think it's a joke, but it's really not. This is who I am. And I don't even mean any harm by it. So that's why a lot of women that will get around me, they'll get like a little timid and feel like I'm a bitch or feel like I'm not nice. And I am the nicest person that you can ever meet, right? But my aura, I know it screams, you can't fuck with me. I know it screams that. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a way where it just exudes confidence. Like it exudes sex appeal. It exudes sexiness. I love to be sexy. That's why when there's women out there who are sitting here talking about this fake classy shit and trying to put on these grandma 80-year-old clothes, let me tell you something. There's a fine line between dressing like a whore and dressing sexy, right? So do not get the two misconstrued. I am sexy. I love to be sexy. I love to smell good. I love to feel good. When you touch me, my skin is soft. Like when you touch my hair, when you smell my hair, I just smell good. I feel good. Like everything about me is just sexy. And I love to be sexy. There's nothing like a beautiful, confident woman who just exudes sexiness. And I always tell girls, when you are young, right? A lot of girls, when they're young, and I don't mean this with no disrespect, I'm just trying to give you the harsh reality. A lot of young girls, I don't really think they pay attention to their hygiene. They're more so paying attention to, like, I need my hair done, I need my nails done, but they're not paying attention to the hygiene. And what I mean by that is, like, I've seen girls come home from the club and just lay down with, makeup on, and just like, it's just a lot of dirtiness going on, right? You have to be clean and sexy at all times. Like, you wearing robes around the house, like you coming home and you putting on like sexy, like this is a pajama, okay? Let me stand up. This is a pajama. And I'm wearing this to bed. Like, I love shit like that. Like, I just love to be sexy. I love when women just want to be sexy. And a lot of young girls don't understand sexiness. I don't know if sexiness went out of style. I don't know. But there's nothing like a girl, like a woman who is sexy. I don't think that's being taught enough. I don't think that's being pushed out enough. I feel like girls now are just more so wanting to be so hard and just, you know, wearing leggings and sneakers all day. And don't get me wrong, I love to be comfortable. But even when I go to the club, like even tonight, I'll see women in like sneakers and leggings all the time. And sometimes I'll step into a facility or a place. I don't even know why I use the word facility. I think I'm just a little bit tipsy and I'm just using words. But I'll step into an establishment or a function and I'm looking around and I'm feeling overdressed, but I'm just like, no, babes, you guys are underdressed. Like, I just love to look good. I do. Like, I love to look good. I love to smell good. I love to feel good. Like, ooh, it's nothing like a woman that's sexy. And I'm in my 30s. Okay? I have a son, like, I just wanted to come on here and say that because I was just outside tonight and it's New Year's and I really expected for some women to just come better. And I'm just like, a girl tonight, she was like, oh my God, you're just so beautiful. How old are you? And I was like, I'm in my 30s. She was like, how old? Grown. And I didn't mean to say it in a rude way, but it's like, just because you're in your 30s and your 40s, babe, you don't gotta let yourself go. Like, I feel like I'm just getting started. I really feel like I am at the age, literally, I know it sounds cliche, people say it all the time, where they can take uncle or nephew in them, but I am the type of woman, I would never take nephew in them. I love older men. Like, I just do. It's nothing like an old wise man. But I am to the point at the stage in my life where I can literally have whoever I want. And it's like, I'll fuck your world up. I'm a bad motherfucker. Like, I'm talking about, I'm just next level shit. Like, they don't make them like me no more. They don't. They don't. Like, they don't make a lot of sexy women no more. And the girls that I do see that's sexy, they're older. They're older. They just know. They next level with they shit. You know, the young girls are just so worried about fuck a nigga, get money. And it's like, babe, it's okay to have your own money. I love to be a boss. I love to be sexy and have my own. I love to work. I love to look good. I love to be able to run the show. Like, I love it. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a man, you know, doing for you, but you gotta have your own. That's a part of sexiness as well. Like, I don't think girls understand. Maybe I should teach a class because I just love being sexy. I do.
Somebody on here got a series called Hobbies Over Him. I want y'all to start a series. I want y'all to start a series called Hobbies Over Hunching.
Hey y'all, that's me. I'm Miss Hobbies Over Him, a series on decentralized relationships. We have over 30 plus hobbies that we have in the group right now. If you want to figure out something to do other than the activity that Asia was mentioned, I suggest you hit the follow button. We have done reading, writing, flowers, hiking, styling, all type of things that you can see on my page. If you want to find other like-minded women who are also using hobbies to find enjoyment in their own personal time instead of just dating these dudes out of boredom, then this is the page for you. Right now, we are currently starting a book club that will be up for tomorrow. So if you want to join our book club, please get the link in my bio and join our Discord. It's going to be really cool. I'm really excited. And yeah, I love that Asia shouted me out. Period. Hobbies Over Him. It's not a moment. It's a movement.
My daughters are 30, 26, and 22 years old. And if they bothered to listen, here's the advice I would give them. Stop holding on to what ifs. It's killing your what's next. You can't fix them. It's not your job to repair what you did not break. They're not confused. They just don't want you bad enough to choose you. Stop crying over someone who sleeps fine at night without you. They're not changing because they know you'll stay anyway. Stop chasing love. It should walk beside you, not run away from you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that they broke you, but it is your responsibility to heal. Your standards are not too high, but your patience for low effort is. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. Love is not a battle. If it feels like war, it's time to surrender. You deserve someone who makes you feel chosen every single day. Hope that helps.
You're not important enough for it to be personal, and I need you to stop interacting with life as though it is, because it skews your perspective, and then you start missing the forest for the trees, because you live with this idea that the things are happening to you with intentionality, and I guarantee you they're not. Any warm body that happened to be occupying the same time and space as you would be experiencing the same things, because it's not personal. And even when it seems deeply personal, I can guarantee you it's not. You don't actually trigger anyone, because you were not the one that built the landmine, buried it with a tripwire to be triggered. That is its purpose, to be triggered and be destructive. So once again, any warm body that was occupying the same time and space as you was going to trigger that trap. The sooner you learn to stop taking things personal, the more freedom you will have to move through this world unencumbered by people's opinions, thoughts, and perceptions of you, and unencumbered by your own limiting beliefs and potential victim mentality.
You know, the irony my therapist told me about the other week is dating gets harder as you work on yourself, because you get better at deterring people who aren't good for you, who are turned off by the fact that not only are you hot sauce, but you have self-respect and you're not dumb. And I'll be honest, a lot of people don't like that. They like people who they can pull one over on, who's a good time with low self-esteem. It's true. It just is. So it's going to be a little bit harder, but oh my God, will you have peace of mind? Absolutely. You will.
Let's talk about how to let go of a man who dumped you, ghosted you, or just plain did you dirty. Story time. When I was in my 20s, I dated a guy for a month and a half. Let's call him Chad, and he was absolutely perfect. Chad was good looking, he was a gentleman, had a pretty powerful job in media, and most of all, he seemed to really like me. Like really, really like me, because after our first date, Chad spent approximately all day, every day texting me, to the point where I was unsure whether his pretty powerful job in media even existed. Because how do you get anything done when you're texting some 20-something girl you met off of a dating app every 10 minutes? But of course, my bad biddies, I ate it up, because it felt good to be wanted, and it felt even better to be wanted by somebody I wanted. And so I texted him back every 10 minutes too. And I was convinced that even though I had known Chad for basically no time at all, that I was going to marry him and we were going to live happily ever after. But here's the thing, Chad didn't love me, he love bombed me, and I'm so freaking old that when all this happened, the term love bomb didn't even really exist. So imagine my confusion when Chad texted me all day, every day from January 1st to February 14th, and on that fateful 14th day of February, I realized that despite the fact that I was convinced that Chad and I were going to live happily ever after, I did not receive a single text from him on February 14th. And so I did what any other bad biddy would do. I called that homeboy out and I said, Chad, what's going on? You text me all day, every day until Valentine's Day, and I'm not supposed to know what that means? And I can't quite remember exactly what Chad said to me that night because it was so freaking long ago, but the subtext of it was, I'm sorry, Anna, I really like you, but I just didn't want to text you on Valentine's Day because I'm not ready for a commitment and I didn't want you to think you were my girlfriend. But if you're willing to be my non-girlfriend so I can have my cake and eat it too, I can continue to text you all day, every day. And despite the fact that I once thought I was going to marry Chad and we were going to live happily ever after, I also knew I didn't want to be somebody's non-girlfriend. That what Chad was essentially saying was that I was good enough to keep around as an option, but not as the only option. And so I left and it crushed me and I went straight into therapy because not only did I feel like my heart had shattered into a million little pieces, I also felt guilty for feeling like my heart had shattered into a million little pieces. Because after all, Chad and I only dated for a month and a half, and that's not a very long time, and I'm a bad biddy and I shouldn't have gotten attached so quickly, right? Wrong. Chad love bombed me and used me as a stepping stone to prop up his own ego so that he could remind himself that he was lovable, that he was desirable, that he was wanted. And nowhere in that string of statements was the sentence that Chad loved and cared about me as a human. It took me a long time in therapy to realize that I needed to stop feeling guilty for feeling like my heart had shattered into a million little pieces. Because feeling guilty that maybe you did something to deserve a man screwing you over is you owning that man's fecal matter. And I don't know about you, but I've got enough of my own ish to deal with, so I don't need anybody else's. So how do you let go of a man who dumped you, ghosted you, or just plain did you dirty? You stop blaming yourself, girlfriend, and you start blaming him. Because you wouldn't blame a woman for getting kidnapped because she decided to trust that she wouldn't get kidnapped when she went for a run, would you? No, you blame that mofo who decided to kidnap a woman because that was the only way he could feel like a man. Honey, the day you realize that you are not what happens to you and that you are what you decide to do next is the day you let go. And I don't know about you, but I'm more excited about what you're going to do next than what some guy did to you.